Hi, after the devastating event of last issue, let's see where X-Force issue 6 takes us. This is written by Geoffrey Thorne, drawn by Jim Towe, and colored by Erick Arciniega. Full spoilers ahead, so you're forewarned. Before we dive into the meat of the story, I want to say that while I have some faith in Thorne's writing, as I've enjoyed his run thus far, part of me feel like Betsy and Rachel would have rebelled or even quit with Sage. Um, we may still revisit the aftermath of Sage's death in subsequent issues, as we are not dealing with these two characters in this one. At least not beyond a few panels of them fighting back the effects of more fractures. Hi, Future Tyler here. Yeah, it is an interesting choice to jump ahead in time with just a couple of montage of the remaining X-Force dealing with more fractures. It is a shorthand used to get to what this issue is all about. Forge. And his angel and devil on his shoulder, so to speak. Angel in the form of Aurora, the life-death version, that is, Mohawk Storm in that white drapey dress, and Devil in the form of Mystic, in the outfit when she and Forge were on X Factor. They are simulations, true, but it also gives the sense that, at least for me, that Forge is deeply troubled and lost. I think he's trying to find an excuse to explain why he's not really grieving, and he's trying to figure out if he should be guilty. That in itself is already a problem. If you do not know you should feel guilt about getting Surge killed, that's troubling. It took me the second read before I realized that he had Nori's regulator like sitting on the table. Also, man, the images of like rock slide, wrong slide, and hope when they were talking about soldiers' death. I miss Krakoa. But, back to Forge, I think he feels guilty. It took him a while to get there, but he's there now. I like that while this is a callback to something in Forge's past, he's not stuck in it. He had moved on with respect to Aurora, and I guess, Raven too. And even though Sage left X-Force last issue, did she really though? I mean, firstly, I like that when Sage spoke of percentages, she qualifies it with like a plus before her, kind of, like a machine. She blamed Forge and herself for Nori's death, but she also looked into the fractures and discovered a commonality, a person whom she thinks is responsible. And while discussing with Forge, the simulation of the female attacked them, calling herself La Diabla, the devil, which immediately makes me think of, and we had mentioned this before, the adversary, a trickster god whom Forge was trained to defeat from young. I mean, I was half expecting the simulation to move, and when it did, it still sent a slight chill down my spine. Ugh. To add to the adversary theory, while fighting off Sage, she said, only Forge matters. And later, when Forge purged her from the code, she said, he's right about you. So I think the adversary is behind all this and is using Forge slash analog somehow. And now the two telepaths are under control. That is not gonna be pretty. Overall, I like this issue. The voice of Forge, Sage, and his simulations are pretty spot on. And we have an interesting villain. So while the plot is slowly unraveling, revealing more layers beneath it, it is also not quite a slow burn. So, I'm looking forward to see where this goes. Towe's art is actually very similar to Towe's stylistically. There is perhaps a touch more lines on the faces with Towe's art, but not by much. And the shape of some characters' faces are a touch different, especially Forge's. Yeah, even Towe's weakness of drawing faces, like looking too similarly, are kind of present here. Backgrounds are also similarly detailed, and Tao has the same ability to pack a large number of characters into panels when needed as well. I love the initial montage panels of like X-Force battling. They're all different. They provide a snapshot of those events, and they are fun to look at. Regarding backgrounds, there were a lot of different ones in this issue, like from within the Blackbird to the various montage backgrounds, and the different backgrounds when Sage was showing Forge like what she found. So in short, Tao and To are a good pair of rotating artists on the same title, as they bring some consistency to the look, which is always good. And given that Arciniega's color need not change too much, if at all, so that comes off as consistent too. So in conclusion, this is a 3.75 out of 5. While this is not the strongest issue of X-Force, it is still a good issue. It delves more into Forge and moves the plot forward with a reveal of a villain, or, at the very least, a henchwoman. Agreed. So check this out. If you enjoyed this, please give it a like and hit the subscribe button. Please share this with your friends and leave us a comment below. Thanks, and Tyler out.